Unded. Unded, where are you, you stupid bastard? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Get off the goddamn ground.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Why would you do that to me?
Look, I know you don't want to work on this fucking video because you got a strike for it last time, but fucking finish it.
Fine, I guess I could put a disclaimer as to why I'm censoring out all of the NIFB's extremely bigoted language, despite the fact that I've been leaving it in just so that people realize how fucking awful these people are. Warning, the content you are about to see contains extremely homophobic language. I do not condone nor promote any type of hatred or harassment towards any protected class of people, specifically race, gender expression and identity, political alignment, or sexual orientation. Despite showing hateful content in this video, the purposes of which are to debunk and critique, the goal of this video is to speak out against such deplorable ideology. Your beloved half-dead cat is back at it again, ready to dive right in. My last video in this series got a strike on it, and subsequently, fuck all people saw it, so I recommend checking out part 1 as so you don't get confused while watching this one. But here's a quick recap in case you don't want to click the iCard. Pastor David Berzins is a new independent fundamentalist Baptist pastor. So from that description alone, you know exactly what this is going to be about, your classic case of bigoted homophobia. And of course, there's going to be some very cultish things said. Now, if you don't know what the new IFB is, it is a rabbit hole that you could go down for hours. In short, it is a highly conservative, homophobic Baptist denomination. And of course they worship the King James Bible because, simply put, it omits a lot of verses from the original. It should also be noted that the King James Bible is the least updated Bible of them all, and it's speculated that it was purposefully mistranslated as to promote certain ideologies. So how it do, my stillborn cat litter? My name's Undead Meowth. Let's just jump right into the news.
Genesis 19, of course, is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and we know how that happened.
Sodom and Gomorrah, that seedy, greedy town. God said to Abraham, go find me righteous man.
God rains down fire and brimstone upon Sodom. Why? Because of their wickedness. Because their wickedness is so exceeding great that it got up to heaven.
Is sin and wickedness like a type of gas? Like, can you smell of sin? Is it particulate matter? Not only that, but I have to wonder, if God is omnipresent, then wouldn't it not matter if the sin got into heaven? God is everywhere, ergo, he can smell the sin fart, or whatever you want to call it, anywhere. Now, this is one of the rare instances which on the Undead Meowth show we have a photorealistic rendering of God during the crisis of Sodom and Gomorrah. This is 100% accurate. As you can see, God is a woman, and is also Japanese.
And God's like, he sent his angels not to save them, but to destroy them.
I should mention that in the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, the angels stay at the house of a man known as Lot, and just as in Judges 19:22-30, the people of the town bang on the door asking where the men are so that they may know them. However, instead of them sacrificing a concubine to the bloodlust murderous rapists, Lot decides to offer his 2 virgin daughters. So yeah, Lot is a real hero in the situation. And as I must reiterate, as when I talked about Judges, this doesn't prove that homosexuals are rapists or murderers. And if you were to say that this is proof of that, then you would also have to reconcile with the fact that the hero in your story literally offered his daughters to be raped by a bunch of maniacs. If anything, this is proof that the Abrahamic faiths are highly misogynistic. I know the Christians all like to beat down on the Muslims for being misogynistic, but they're just as bad. Seriously, spend some time and read the Bible, and you will see countless accounts of when it's okay to just kidnap women, murder them, rape them. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, I like the Bible because it teaches good morals. Yeah, good morals? Like what? Pillaging villages and stealing women away from their homes? You sick psychopathic fucks.
And you remember in that story, ironically, how similar it is.
It is ironic how similar they are. It's almost like these are stories written by men who are completely batshit crazy and have very little imagination or creativity, so they just plagiarize themselves.
It's because what happened? The angels of the Lord come in to Sodom. And what happens? Lot invites them into his house, right? Same exact scenario. Oh no, don't stay in the streets. Come into my house. What are they doing? They sit down, they have some food, they eat some dinner. Men of the city surround the house, start beating on the door. Hey, bring those men out that we may know them. It's the same exact story.
You're right, it's the same exact story. That should really clue you in on the fact that these are not accurate historical events. Unfortunately, I don't think your critical thinking skills are to the level where you would realize that something is up when two stories are pretty much verbatim the same thing. Oh, you got a little dry throat, you feeling a little ill? Maybe you should take a big swig of that piss.
This is what the Sodomite is really about. This is who they really are. And when they get in numbers and enough force, see, right now they want to play off as just being these harmless, little effeminate, you can laugh at them, make jokes about them or whatever.
I can assure you with a great amount of certainty that nobody wants to be made fun of. But I really like how you try to belittle the GSRM community when you're literally this fucking stupid. David Berzins wants to say that homosexuals look silly when he literally looks like Frankenstein's fucking monster.
But when they get strong enough in numbers, their true identity is going to come out.
You're absolutely right. We are going to turn into the gay vampires we actually are.
What they're really about comes out. In both of these situations, you had a lot of sodomites in one place. And they get bold enough to then just come out and be like, we're just going to surround this house and we're going to make them come out and we're just going to have our way with them.
I had actually looked into it and decided to do a little experiment here. The highest GSRM population is in the city San Francisco, and the lowest, according to the sources I could find, was Fargo, North Dakota. Now in 2016, San Francisco saw approximately 39 rapes per 100,000 people. While that is above the national average, Fargo, North Dakota had, get this, 70 rapes per 100,000. San Francisco was 30% above the national average, and Fargo, North Dakota was 109% above the national average in 2016 for rapes. Keep in mind that the population of Fargo, North Dakota is a lot smaller than the population of San Francisco. In fact, Fargo is 8 times smaller than San Francisco. If David Berzin's little theory here was correct, we would see the exact fucking opposite of what we are seeing right now in observable reality. And you might think that the fact that Fargo is smaller than San Francisco would actually prove my point wrong here. But actually, having a decreased population means you should have a decreased crime rate. This means by population percentage, more people in North Dakota are raping others than in San Francisco. And even if this wasn't enough for you to be convinced that David Berzins is wrong, statistically, people of the GSRM community are more likely to be sexually violated than heterosexuals. But if any of you NIFB motherfuckers think I'm wrong, I'd like you to prove it in a court of law. I'll be waiting for my fucking subpoena, you pieces of shit.
The homosexual is a predator.
No, you know who really is a predator? People like you who indoctrinate children with the fear of hell and torture for an eternity while they are still learning their AB fucking Cs. You know who's a predator? Cult leaders who decide to keep their little congregation in an echo chamber bubble and block out outside information that may actually make them reconsider the absolute fucking nonsense you've been spewing. A predator is someone who takes advantage of others for wealth and power. I'm honestly shocked that you NIFB motherfuckers don't have tusks on your face and green skin and can turn invisible and see in infrared. Simply put, you're the fucking predators.
How do you think that there are any to begin with? Anyways, they don't reproduce. People aren't born a sodomite. You're not born homosexual. They go out and they recruit them. They defile it. That's why you run into all these people, all these perverts. What happened to them? They were defiled as a child. They were defiled when they were younger. They ended up hating God, and then they become one of these filthy reprobates.
In mammals, birds, insects, reptiles, and mollusks, we see examples of homosexual behavior. Are you honestly telling me that there are box crab pedophiles? Let me explain to you why that's physically impossible. Box crabs are microscopic when they're born. How many bearded dragon offsprings have you seen get molested? No, wait. How about this? How about dragonflies? When dragonflies are born, they live underwater. Mature dragonflies cannot go underwater. So please, explain to me how dragonflies exhibit homosexual behavior, and yet dragonflies are physically incapable of being molested by mature dragonflies. I very much want to know your explanation for this. I myself have never been molested. I don't even believe in God, and yet I still like both men and women. And I'm trans. So please explain how I exist. Oh my god, he finally did it. He drank the piss. He drank the piss. Ring the bells, ring the bells. He drank the fucking piss. Introducing the That's Not Lemonade t-shirt, now available at teespring.com/stores/thedeadzone. We may never know what David Berzins is drinking, but we can be sure that it might be piss. So head over to the link in the description down below and check out the fantabulous designs I have at teespring.com/stores/thedeadzone. Check it out now, ya pussies. Fucking do it. Go. What are you waiting for? This concludes today's episode. So tune in next episode to see how this train wreck can get any fucking worse. It's like I keep feeling like we hit rock bottom, and somehow things get more batshit as we progress. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. My name's Undead Meowth, and that's all I got.